get into the ideas, a discussion, and then after that followed with BQ&A. So I think in the promo, you guys saw the universe of categories that Kajal is keen to establish. So it's not just home furnishing or cookware or homeware, it's cross-category products. And we will engage in a conversation with her here to understand what is her perspective and what she really wants to bring to the business. So we will start with the unveiling of her brand, and we will reveal it, which has been everybody has been waiting for. So I'll ask the production to play the video. And the idea is to bring her individual perspective into developing products which reflect her own design ideas. So I'd like to introduce once again, because I think here we have Kajal, who represents glamour, and Gautam represents business. And I think it's a great, synergy and marriage where business meets glamour, And that's what we are here to translate. A little brief background on Gautam is a business veteran from the industry itself, and he understands this space not just about India but the global market. So and we will ask some questions about, to Kajal later after during the media interaction. But until then, let me do the bit and have a little conversation about what's happening with Katika and what does it mean actually.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm really pleased to be here. First and foremost, launching and unveiling my brand licensing program with HGH really means a lot. I was very keen to meet all you pioneers in the industry and to collaborate and to invite you to come across various categories and join us in building a sustainable, beautiful, valuable brand that actually helps in changing people's lives.
So Kajal, first of all, I think everyone would want to know what is the word Katika means.
So it's actually said Katika, and it's a Telugu plus a Sanskrit word, which means Kajal. So Katika Kallu means beautiful eyes.
So I think that itself reflects her vision and also integrates with the name, because whenever we as a go about thinking about a brand name, there are a lot of different ideas that comes to our mind, and celebrity brands, when we think of, it's very difficult to find a synergy and just one name which is truly depicting her name and also sharing the vision. So it's a very beautiful name, and we are glad that she revealed it exclusively here at HGH India at the Home Business Trade Show. So, now we will get into a few questions in terms of what is the philosophy of the brand Katika?
So, you guys have seen me in over 60 movies. I have been working in the film fraternity for almost 2 decades now. It's been a very fruitful and a very fulfilling journey. But now I feel that I'm at a space in my life, I'm at a phase of my life where I want growth and diversity over other spheres and other industries as well. Home and living is an industry which is very close to my heart. And recently I found quite a few market gaps when we were doing up our home. And I felt that we don't really have a strong Indian brand which depicts Indian values rooted in Indianness and Indian culture, which is so big and vast and beautiful. still being very contemporary and keeping in mind the functionality of the products that we use, and keeping in mind the sync and synergy across various categories. So I really wanted to come forward and create a brand which actually could fill this market gap. And that's how Kartika came into the picture. That's also how keeping the brand philosophy of Indian rootedness, culture, integrated with a lot of modernity, contemporariness, and keeping functionality as the main key point of this brand came about.
Yeah, so I think it's a very thoughtful idea, and Shinsi said rooted in Indian, and I think as India is going global with the way the Prime Minister has positioned ourselves, I think we should take pride in presenting Indianness, and I think Kajal with her own design philosophy wants to bring Indian designs, the artisans' bent of the take on the designs are traditional cultural values, the spirituality in terms of essence, and it's not about doing one category, let's say bed or bath or furniture or cookware. It is doing across category. That's what her perspective is. She's not going to just do one product, but she wants to bring the home lifestyle aspect of it and taking elements which represent Indianness. So I think that's the broad idea. And knowing Kajal's, thorough preparation, whether it comes to films or any other thing that she's doing, I think she has a very, focused approach. And here we are going to share a business presentation to this audience, which will really showcase how prepared she is when she's launching a brand, and there is a lot of homework gone into it. So as we will have conversation, we will have some slides which will showcase what we intend to do and give you some visual depiction in terms of what we exactly mean. I will ask Gautam to give perspective in terms of how they have together, thought and what's the broader vision starting, because there is the ecosystem of modern retail in the home lifestyle space with, very category specific retailers coming to the business. Plus, we have global brands who have come into the realm. There are two big global brands which have launched with, stores which are larger than stadiums. So how do we really look forward to root ourselves while with all the international disruption also happening? So, Gautam, we would want to understand your take.
So first of all, thank you, AGH, for this fabulous platform. I think that, if you look at all the top-level companies that we have in this show today, and if you ask them, only a small percentage of the products that they have here is what their capability actually is. So actually speaking, a lot of these guys are also exporters. And so when you go internationally to trade shows or to stores overseas, you see a lot of our product in India being sold overseas. And a lot of us go abroad shopping and we see this product and we don't even know it's made in India. And then we say, oh, this is really great, we want to bring it back home. So I think that, as a demographic, the 25 to 40-year-old homeowner is becoming younger and younger. And there's much more demand for, for what you see on Instagram, what you see on TikTok, what you see globally. And we felt that bringing together everything onto one platform and partnering with these great manufacturers that we already have and these great brands that we already have in India would be such a great opportunity for us to actually be able to bring our thoughts, our philosophy, our understanding, our expertise, and really bring Indian design values, to the forefront and present that, in the market. And so again, partnering with AGH, partnering with great brands here, and really trying to create a difference in the market is something that we're really looking forward to doing.
So here we have this beautiful logo at the back. This is Katika, and the vision of the Katika, blended with Kajal, take on the home categories backed with the business expertise. And I think it's the most, I would say, credible integration one could foresee. So we'll run you through a few slides. We'll get on to the news. So every brand has a baseline, a tagline, which we call in a generic way, which really depicts the essence of what the brand stands for. So the brand is personified brand representing Kajal's values, emotions, and design vision. But the messaging is very strong. Embrace yourself, stay rooted. I think that's the beauty of what we intend to communicate, and that's what the brand stands for. So, Kajal, what you'd want to say a little more in terms of what does rooted means, you know?
I think accepting yourself for what you are, and where you come from, humble beginnings, beautiful journeys, I think all of that creates a sense of rootedness and a sense of belonging, which is extremely important, which is our brand philosophy. And adding that in every aspect of your life. In this situation, obviously, home and living would be the best primary example for this, where you probably have an Indian element in a very contemporary design. You have products which are very technologically forward, great materials for the same, great innovations for the same, yet the design would be Indian. So a marriage of this, a synchronization of this would mean embracing yourself and staying rooted.
That's a pretty, I think you're hearing from, herself, and I think there's no better explanation that, we can add to. So thanks for your insights. We'll move on to the next slide now. This is, giving, in terms of beyond her acting prowess, how she's now catapulted herself into being the boss woman as a business lady to really, come here and launch a brand. So we'll move on to the next slide from the introduction one. This, as you know, in terms of, this is a very small synopsis. She's done over 60 more plus films and a lot more coming. But this is the one I think we could capture on the slide. So digital media has become a great tool for fans to engage. And, and Kajal has been pretty much sharing her life through digital media. So what's been the experience since we're discussing digital engagement, which will really help us to engage us with the brand that we are intending to build. But so far, Kajal, if you want to share your experiences, how do you feel, really interacting with the fans live, where there is really a no filter zone, I would say.
No filter would be very true and very on point, Vishal. I think digital media comes with its pros and cons. I want to emphasize on the pros right now, since we are discussing this. It gives me a platform to just be my true, authentic, most organic self, post my literally daily affairs, my living, so that my fans and my audience can get a glimpse of how I live my life, what I am behind the scenes, what I am behind camera, and just to keep it very real and authentic.
Okay, so that's, I think, I would say digital, personally for me, when I look at, I feel it's a lot of responsibility, and the way the troll gangs also sometimes target, I think regular people can't handle it.
Also, we are influencing so many young minds.
Yes.
So that's where the responsibility picture comes in, where you want to make sure that you give out the right message and you don't influence people in a way which might harm them or affect them in a negative manner.
And I think we have seen on social media, she's been sharing her progression in life, right after her marriage, being a mother, I think different perspectives, and we are aware in terms of, how she's progressing. And I think it's a great medium. And we're going to really engage our fans, which will really embrace what we are intending to launch soon and share our design ideas, the entire journey for the home and living business that we are going to build. So you're going to see a lot of design ideas, product curation, work in progress on her social media. Next. So as Kajal explained, Katika stands for embracing yourself. I think this is a little brief on what we intend to create. We are on a mission to create a harmonious blend of tradition and modernity. And this is going to, we can go on to the next slide. This is something she's already shared. So the brand Katika, is capturing certain essence which really depicts herself, which is rooted, exuberant, free-spirited, beautiful. That's the brand personality. We're targeting consumers in the age segment of 25 to 40 years. Our positioning is going to be targeting, like, in a film language, I would say we look at single screen audiences and multiplex. But I think we have come in the middle so that both of us can really experience what we are about to bring. So because it's important to find a mid brand, and since we are India centric, we have to have price positioning also, which is India centric. So this will be positioned as a lifestyle brand, and which offers home solutions across categories. So whether it's, so let's say if you take a certain theme and design idea that will have the color palette, so you can do your room, you don't have to go to 10 other places to really figure things out. So somewhere on the entire journey since you are doing home, what is that you have been through, and what is that you feel is a problem area that you want to bring a solution to with what you're intending to build now?
Interesting that you said that, because literally while we were doing our home, we went from across various brands, across various categories, scouting for things, trying to put it together, trying to make sure that the entire visual looks synergistical, and trying to make it all come together beautifully. And that's where we found difficulty, because there wasn't any one platform that would suggest superior products at the right kind of value, still would give us the best design options, would give us beautiful aesthetics, and would give functionality. So I think that's the primary gap that we're trying to fill, and that's what we're trying to achieve through Katika.
Okay. So in terms of the brand personality, we just have this slide on the back. And what we intend to build is, I've seen the way the endorsement business works. Sometimes when you look at an imagery of someone who is there, and when you see a product, you feel disconnected sometimes. And I think what we are doing here, that's why is we particularly didn't go the endorsement route, because we wanted to bring value not in terms of just pushing a brand or a product, but really contributing in terms of making a product which is an authentic representation of a design idea. And also it really fulfills and brings the Indian lost culture, heritage, design, because of so much of movement to the West. And Kajal's brief has been to make it as contemporary in design expression as it could be, because while we are doing so, we don't want to be seen as a very, a brand which is not in sync with the trends of today's time. So there again, it's rooted yet progressive. Again, the brand messaging is integrated in the product philosophy. And Kajal, I would want to ask you to elaborate on the design philosophy, but from the trends in design, what's going on international, I would want to hear from Gautam also. Gautam, if you can tell us what's the international scenario, because, global cues are important while we are rooting business here, because we are not just building it for the India, that we are, as in the territory that we are targeting. We are looking at the Indian diaspora living wherever in the world. So
I think, Vishal, that internationally responsible consumption is becoming very important. So ethical sourcing, reducing waste, things like that are becoming very, very important. Conscious living is becoming more important. And we are seeing a lot of that coming into India, because traditionally that's how Indians used to live. But now, because life has changed so much, I think that we're living in a very high stress, high anxiety kind of, high paced environment, where we really need to understand and go back to our roots. And that's where our brand really, comes into the picture, I think at the right time. And that's why, like you said, instead of going the endorsement route, we were very keen to pick the right partners to work with, to bring the right products into the market. And that's why, again, AGH is a great platform to be at, to find the right partners.
So we will look at the uh, brand aesthetics, you know. So in terms of design expression, this slides gives you, it's very, you know, India-centric. And I think, so I'll take you a little, you know, outside the topic that we're discussing. When we look at fashion, what's happening in the fashion business, there has been an advent of international brands which have really put in pressure. And there are beautiful brands which have really hold on to the Indian values. I won't name the brands, but you know, when you look at marriages, functions, ethnic wear as a category. And I think what we are trying to do is, we are trying to do the contemporary ethnic wear in the home lifestyle categories. That's what we're doing.
Been a huge admirer of artisanal work, Indian artisans, the kind of rich heritage that we have, the kind of work that we do in terms of pottery, in terms of the colors, the dyes, the palette that we live in, which is so vibrant and beautiful, and there are so many hues and shades. The kind of materials that are used, the kind of intricate designs and Indian motifs that we have and that we belong to. And we've seen all through our lives while growing up. I feel it's high time we bring this aesthetic into home, into living, and create a design philosophy which is very proud of the fact that we have such a massive heritage and we come from such a rich history and such rich culture.